チャンネル登録者さん何人かの方からディプティック香水へのリクエストコメントが来ていましたので、ご希望が多いと判断して2人に協力してもらい、香水の本音レビューを行います。いいねの数が多ければ似たような動画を将来作りますので、ご希望はいいねやコメントで教えてください。今回は以前のディプティック香水動画の続きです。
それでは皆さん、5番目の香水に行ってみましょう。Perfume number 5. Here you go.
Ooh, this one's interesting to me.
Alright, this one's number 2.
You think so?
Number 2? No, I don't get that at all. Alright, I'll start with this one. Because I like this a lot, actually. This feels like a barbershop fragrance for women.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's interesting. Because normally barbershop fragrances are male dominant. You know, I can't say that I've ever smelled a fragrance that gave me a barbershop feel that I thought was for women. This is the first one. This is good.
Let me comment that this is very, very subtle. I don't know if you didn't spray a lot on this one, but I can barely make out notes.
Try mine.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Really?
For me, it's very, very subtle. It smells a lot like number 2. I'm not sure what that number 2 is, but it does lack that burning. So I do like it a little bit better, but also it lacks, I'm not getting any of the complex notes in number 2. So.
Yeah,
this one's very straightforward. I could see it being inexpensive.
Yeah, I can see it being inexpensive too. Like I said, it seems like a simple fougere, but for women. And I gotta disagree with number 2. I don't think, number 2 was the root vegetable beef stew one. And I don't think that smells like this at all. I think this is a women's freshie. Men could wear this too. It's not like dominantly feminine. But I feel like it's a fougere fragrance that's leaning feminine. So maybe there's like a different twist of lavender in here, or like some kind of flower note that's making it a little bit feminine. But it's good. I like it quite a bit, actually.
I am getting some shaving cream-esque vibes from this.
Yeah.
Like that's where it's getting the barber from, I'm sure. I don't see why this is women's though.
I'm just getting, it's just like a fougere that I haven't smelled before.
Maybe because it's extremely light, but again, because it's so light, it's hard for me to even pick out notes other than the shaving creaminess.
Maybe shaving. It's like fresh creaminess. It's like frothy, foamy creaminess.
Also, it's in terms of where it is in the nose, it's uniform. So I don't like get it up here mainly, and then it stretches up to the back. It's like all the way same tone throughout the nose. So.
No, I like this a lot. See, sexy's an interesting one for this because I'm not used to smelling women wearing barbershop-y fragrances. So I don't know that I would call it sexy, but it definitely smells good. It could be attractive.
Work appropriate among
Yeah, it's not offensive, and it has very minimal intention, in my opinion. I don't think that you're trying to say, "Hey, look at me," but it definitely smells good, and I think it's leaning inexpensive. Or actually, maybe it's expensive because, like I said, I've never smelled one that made me feel like it was for females. Or not like I said, I don't want to get confused here. I don't want it to be female dominant. It's definitely not. It's a unisex fragrance that I feel just has a little bit more of a female vibe or a feminine vibe. And I give this one an 8.
I will say that I'm getting some rockiness in this one. Again, I don't get any feminine notes in this, so I actually have to lean towards men's on this one. This smells like if you wanted to smell like you had a beard and you shaved the entire beard and you walked into work that day like trying to pretend that you had a beard at one point, even though everyone at work knows that you don't have a beard, so they're just confused. They're like, why does this guy smell like shaving cream or bathroom, sanitary products when he clearly hasn't had a beard ever, so it's like unusual. For that reason, it might be sexy. I do get like the Chad meme vibes from this a little bit because of the beard, because of the shaving cream, and so it's just like a lot of strings that you connect, and it leads to very strange places. So leaning towards sexy, leaning towards men's. I would not wear it just because I feel like I could pull off that similar smell just by shaving. So score, I'd give it a 7.
7?
Yeah. There's nothing offensive about it.
If a woman is wearing it, do you think she might be a lesbian?
That's a really good question. I don't think so, no.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it could also be like an ambient smell that rubs off on you, so.
I think a woman could totally pull it off.
このチャンネルでは香水の本音レビューや海外の方の反応をお届けしています。 ぜひ将来も楽しい内容を見たい方はチャンネル登録といいねを忘れずに、ベルを押しておくとお知らせの通知がすぐに行きますのでおすすめしておきます。次のものは以前の動画で2人に嗅いでもらったものです。今回で香りの印象は変わるのでしょうか？ No.6 Here you go.
Are you doing an exercise routine over there?
You exercise like that?
Yes. Another barbershop fougere. This one's masculine leaning for me. I like it. I like fougeres. I mean, that's up my alley.
So this is so strong it goes to my lungs.
Really?
Yes.
This is subtle for me.
So there are darker notes in this. It's definitely masculine leaning. I agree with Sebastian.
Like
I also get green. I get dark green in this one.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Probably because like aftershave. I feel like maybe it's because of the aftershave, and aftershave is really strong, so it's pungent. It gets all the way into your olfactory system. So
I'm picking up a little bit of mint. Are you getting mint at all?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's probably where the green is coming from.
Yeah, for me, I mean, this I'm getting creamy, not super creamy, like a gourmand or lactonic creamy, but like again, like I think this is a barbershoppy fragrance to my nose. I like it. I'm getting like the foamy creaminess with the hints of lavender, mint, spices.
I'm getting complex notes in this one. This one's more expensive than the last one, definitely. I feel like to achieve this smell, they had to mix a lot of weird things that didn't smell like what the end product smelled like. So I guess that's the staple of a good perfume. It's nice, a little too pungent for me. I wish they would have toned it down, maybe to the level of number 5, because I like the more subtle smells if I were to wear them myself.
I suppose if you oversprayed this one, it could be pungent. On the strip itself, it's not pungent for me. Yeah, maybe there's something on it that you react to. Yeah, I disagree with the complexity of this one. I feel like this is a more inexpensive fragrance. The last one, the number 5 that I said was slightly more feminine barbershop fragrance, I feel was more unique and had 5 had more depth than this. This to me is a freshie. There is some granularity with the mint coming out, which was impressive. I picked that up. It was nice, but I don't think it's very complex. I think it's a straightforward fougere. I think it's inexpensive. I think women might find this sexy because again, it's just a classic fougere. And I give it a 7.5. I've smelled better. If you want a barbershoppy fragrance, I've smelled better than this.
I'm also getting smoky notes. That's probably what's making off a little bit. Like a little bit burnt.
Yeah, I'm not picking that up at all.
It's hard because he's right. It's hard to tell if that's expensive or inexpensive. It's one or the other. Like it's not going to be in the middle. It's going to be like very cheap or very expensive because it could be. It does seem like it could be a try-hard perfume. Number 5 was like a rack of ribs, and number 6 was like a rack of ribs with some barbecue sauce. So sometimes you just like that, you know, you like your meat just nice and smoked, and that's it. So you don't want some extra American sauce on it.
Wonderful analogy. What score would you give it?
6.
6 sounds great. You guys are doing wonderful. Next one. これも以前に動画でレビューしてもらったものです。今度も同じ意見が聞けるのでしょうか？ Perfume No.7.
This is
Lucky
me when
number
I'm a
7.
nervous lizard.
Ooh, this is nice. I like it. Forest is what I get immediately. Like if you're walking through a nice pine forest, I'm getting conifer trees. Like pine, spruce, fir initially. However, it does kind of smell like a wood shop.
I feel like that, but it's not the main note. That's like the secondary note.
You think so?
Forest, yeah.
Really? Yeah, I'm getting very dominant, like, or not dominant, it's a subtle fragrance, but I'm smelling a lot of conifer trees.
Again, I'm getting like this subtle blue that's distracting from a full commitment to that type of scheme. It feels like there's something else that's pulling it in another direction, and I don't really like that.
Yeah, because of all the different types of conifer that I'm smelling in here, it smells to me like a worker's wood shop. So I like this a lot. It's very nostalgic. You know, it reminds me of when I had projects in a wood shop. Very nice sawdust. I'm getting a lot of sawdust.
This one's subtle. There's sweetness in there. I'm not a fan of it. There's some like light blue to it, but with white. And then there's the forest. Yeah, it just smells sweet, a little bit wet, but not in a foresty way. It doesn't smell dry like a wood shop, so.
Completely opposite side of the spectrum for me. I get dry sawdust, multiple types of wood shop. That's what I get. I like it a lot. It's nostalgic. I think it's more masculine leaning because of the, it's more like working with your hands. Not that women couldn't work in a wood shop, but I feel like it's more of a men's profession or hobby. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it could be sexy to certain people, but probably not generally speaking. It's not sexy. Very interesting. I don't know if this is a tricky one as far as the price point. I don't know if it's inexpensive or expensive, but for me, this is nostalgic. It's just hitting a lot of scent memories for me, and for that reason, I like it a lot. I think I give this one an 8.
I think it's expensive. The fact that I can have 2 different distinctions and fight between them means that the scent complex is really complex. It's a very good palette. I'm definitely not getting brown or sandalwood or anything like that from this. If anything, I think of like the Great Mosque in Morocco. That's kind of like where a good explanation, because that's right on the ocean, and that's where I'm getting the wetness from. Like almost there's a sea breeze. But again, I'm not a fan of it because I feel like it doesn't commit to anything. I feel like it's just a bunch of perfume palettes that were thrown around into one smell. So for that reason, I'll give it a 6. Again, it's not offensive or anything like that, so.
Yeah, I stick to my analysis. I think that's a lovely fragrance.
Do you think it's appropriate for work?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not offensive at all. To me, I think it's fine.
I think so. I think it would be fine.
None of these were, well, aside from, which one did you say was pungent? It like really went to your lungs.
I want to say 6. Yeah, it was 6.
これから2人にミドルノートのランキングを決めてもらいます。Alright, would you mind choosing your top 3 favorite?
Okay, yeah, I have mine.
Which one is number 1?
Number 1 is 4. Beautiful. I love 4 so much. I'd actually change that to a 9.
Really?
Yes.
The score?
Mhm.
Wow.
Number 2 is 3. It's pretty good. I like 3. And my third is...
Number 5 is your number.
Wow, number 2 really smells like beef stew now. I'm getting like tomatoes.
Do you get beef stew with tomato?
It's definitely different. I like that one more. Before it was kind of like gray and blank, and now it's really exploded into something more colorful. I'd actually put number 2 as number 3.
I recall not liking number 1, but now I like it.
This one hasn't changed as much. Number 5.
Okay.
Yeah, just full disclosure, none of these excited me at all. Like, I mean, there were some that I liked, but none of them were like, oh my gosh, I gotta smell that again, or I want to buy it. None of them blew me away. This particular batch of fragrances was very average for me.
For me, I did have a standout. Was number 4. That one was really good. Probably my top 4 of all the ones I've smelled. Maybe top 3. Literally smells like I'm in a flower shop.
Number 2 is interesting. It's very green. Not my cup of tea, but it's definitely developing. I'd be interested to smell this one on skin. I think my top 3 are going to be 5, 6, and 7, and they're all in 3rd place. I don't have a number 1. These, like I said, none of these like blew me away.
This guy is so pretentious that he's putting his top 3 all at 3.
Well, no, I'm just trying to be honest here and give you guys, I don't want like someone to think that this number 1 ranking is in my top list or something. This is not the case at all. If I had to order it, I'd probably go 5, 7, 6, but none of them blew me away.
5 is number 1 if you are forced to choose.
Yes. Yeah, because this one surprised me the most. I've never smelled a fougere fragrance that could be worn by a female.
結果です。まずトップノートから発表します。ラファエルは3位でロンブルダンロー EDT、オードミンテ EDP、タムダオ EDT が同点で並び、2位にオルフェン EDP、1位にドソンEDT を選びました。セバスチャンは2位にオーデミンテ EDP、1位でオルフェン EDP、タムダオ EDT が同点で並びました。次にミドルノート、つまり少し時間が経ってからの香りの結果発表です。ラファエルは3位でロンブルダンロー EDT、2位にフィロソフィコ EDT、1位にドソン EDT を選びました。セバスチャンは3位でオーデミンテ EDP、2位でタムダオ EDT、1位でオルフェン EDP を選びました。あくまでもこちらの香水レビュー、個人の見解&香水はアートです。もしあなたと違う意見だったとしても優しく見守ってください。 勇気を持って正直な意見をシェアしてくれたゲストに感謝です。香水名談の詳細については下の概要欄に書いておきます。
Alright, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. 皆さん今日は見てくださってありがとうございました。セバスチャンとラファエルにぜひコメントをよろしくお願いします。またあなたの好きなディプティックの香水は何ですか？ぜひコメント欄で残していってください。それでは皆さんまた会う日まで。Say bye to Japanese people. Bye!
Thanks for letting us smell stuff for
いい
you.
ねの数が多ければ似たような動画を将来作りますので、ご希望はいいねやコメントで教えてください。チャンネル登録もお忘れなく。また個別の香水相談は下記ビジネス E メールにご連絡ください。現在新規でのクライアントさんを取っていませんが、お待ちいただける場合順にご連絡差し上げます。詳しくは概要欄へどうぞ。